Let me start. So please allow me to introduce myself at first. My name is Xiangliang Zhang. I'm an associate professor at House in computer science. My research interest is machine learning and data mining. So I have been working on this topic over 10 years. So today I'm very happy to share with you this competition, and I invite all of you to participate in this Arabic tweets sentiment analysis competition. So in the next about 30 minutes, I will introduce this competition, and then we will have a Q&A session. So what is the problem in this competition? So it's a very simple one. You already attended the 3 presentations given by the 3 invited speakers we had in the first session. So you probably already know what is sentiment analysis. So it's very easy. You have a piece of text, for example, reviews people give to restaurants or hotels, or you have some comments about videos, or you have tweets. So the sentiment analysis is to use machine learning models to determine what is the tone of this piece of text. Is positive, negative, or neutral? So in this task, in this competition, we are working on the sentiment analysis in Arabic tweets. So there are 3 examples I give here in the 3 classes, positive, negative, neutral. So in the competition, the task is to use machine learning model to build machine learning models to classify these tweets as accurate as possible. So our competition price is $10,000 for the first place, $5,000 for the second place, $2,000 for the third place. So you can click on this link. You can also go to the website of our webinar. You will have a link direct you to the competition website. So there you can first register and then download the dataset. So or you can just take a picture about this website and then use your computer to access this competition website. So then you register with your email and then you can download the dataset. So we really want to have all of you participate our competition and win the prize. So the timeline is given here. So today is our starting date, our day 1. This is the kickoff our competition. So if you register and then if you go to the dataset download, you will find a training dataset, a testing dataset. That is saying you have 2 datasets you can download. So you can use a training dataset because it provides the tweets and it provides also the labeled, for example, positive, negative, neutral, these labels. So you can build your sentiment classification model and then you try to work on the test 1 and see what is the label predicted for the test 1 dataset. So then starting from January 1st in 2021, you can submit your prediction results for the test 1. So in the test 1, we don't provide label. So we want you to predict the label and submit the label to our website, and we will rank the teams according to the prediction accuracy. So please stay with the competition and you can try to improve your model if you see that there are some other teams ranked higher than you. So you can keep improving your machine learning model. So the competition will end on April 30 next year. And then we will ask the team to submit their codes because we want to evaluate the models on the test 2 dataset. So the test 2 dataset is not released, but it has the same distribution like what we had in the first 2 dataset, training and testing 1. I will show you some statistics later. So finally, if your model performs the first, second, and the third on the test 2, you are the winners. We will have the winners announcement on May 15 next year, and then we will have another workshop to invite these teams who win this prize to introduce their model and discuss how they solve the problem. So you are welcome to attend the event next year also. So if you have any question about this competition timeline, so you can leave the message there, and then later we go to the Q&A session, and then we can discuss. So now let me start a little bit about how we build our data and why our data is a good one. So if you remember, our invited speaker all mentioned that having a high quality labeled data set is very important for all the languages. And for Arabic language, Professor Walid already mentioned there were some benchmark data sets. For example, this sentiment evaluation he mentioned already. So there are a number of data sites providing this sentiment analysis for Arabic tweets. So we listed them here. So you can see for many data sites, they either have a small number of labeled data, or they have labeled data but not based on a manual labeling process. So the first two data sites, they had quite a large number, but the label were actually from the emojis, not based on the crowdsourcing annotation. And our data site, as you can see, it's 100,000 tweets, and we have 3 different classes. And I will introduce the annotation process later. And overall, our data site is larger than others and with high quality of annotation. So how we get the data site? We have collaboration with Lucidia. So Lucidia is a data analysis company based in Riyadh, and actually the founder of Lucidia is our course alumni. So we collaborated with Lucidia to collect the tweets data. So we collected actually a large number of tweets, and then we randomly selected 100,000 from May 2012 until April 2020. And since we prefer to select more tweets in the recent dates, so we have about 70% tweets selected in this year and 30% in last year, and the remaining 1% are from the previous years. And we verified that the tweets are mainly from unique authors. That it means the tweets were published, were posted by different users. So more than 80% were from the unique users. And 72% of the tweets are from Saudi Arabia, then 13% from Egypt, 7% from Kuwait, 3% from United States, and 3% from UAE. And because in Arabic NLP, a very challenging issue is the dialogue. So we actually also verified the diversity of our tweets based on the tool developed by Lucidia. And we can find out that our 100,000 tweets cover different kind of dialogues. For example, 36% are written in modern Arabic, 31% is from this Khaliji dialect, and 22% is from a different one, and there are 10% from Egypt dialect. And then once we had these 100,000 tweets, and we also, of course, did some filtering work. For example, we removed the tweets with images or video links, and we also filled out the tweets with inappropriate words. So finally, we get a clean data set, and then we ask for annotation. So actually, we recruited 69 native Arabic speakers with an average age of 26 years old to do the annotation. So each tweet was at least annotated by 3 experienced annotators, and they were trained and qualified by Lucidia. And the annotation work took about 3 months because it's quite a large amount of work to do. The total number of annotation is over 300,000. So finally, we get this data annotated. So by the way, as you can see, the annotators are mostly female, and they have at least a bachelor degree. And most of them are from Saudi Arabia, but of course we have some from Egypt and Yemen and Algeria and other places. So when we had this annotated data and we further cleaned the data because we don't want to release the data for our computation if they don't have any meaning, right? So then we finally have 95,000 tweets that are really meaningful, have long content for the machine learning model or deep learning model to work on. So this is our data set. And in order to verify if our annotation process is reliable, so we also calculated a coefficient, it's called kappa. So this value is from 0 to 1. So if it is close to 1, it means this annotation is really reliable and all the annotators highly agreed with each other. So in our case, we calculate the kappa based on the tweets annotated by 3 annotators or 4 annotators. And also we checked if all the annotators agreed with each other, or they provided 2 different labels, or they even provided 3 different labels. So in the table here, we can see most of the tweets had agreed label. But of course, we have some other tweets, they didn't have agreed label. So for the tweets with 3 annotators, we have about 37% with 2 different labels. We use majority voting because we think that if 2 out of 3 annotators agreed on 1 label, so then we think that the label should be the true one. But of course, we have a few hundred. They had 2 different labels or 3 different labels out of 2 or 3 or 4 annotators. So then we had to determine this final label by a senior monitoring process based on the discussion and based on experienced annotators. So this is the overall process for us to get the data set. So in general, what we are saying is our data set is a reliable one, and you can use it for building the sentiment analysis model. And the data set is also diverse because it covers different kind of dialogues. So let me recall the timeline, right? So I said we will release the training data set and the test one data set now. And so from now until the end of April next year, you can work on the training data and you can work on the testing data. So since the testing one data has no label because we want to rank the teams according to their prediction based on testing one. So you can work on the training data set to build your model, validate your model. Once you have your model be well trained, you can apply it on test one. But you may want to ask, say, how the data in these 3 splits distributed. So here is a table to help you understand the split. So in the training data set, we have 55,000. So if you already download the data set, you can check. So we have 55,000 tweets in the training data with labels. So that means you can train your model with these 50,000. And then you can test your model on test one. But because we are not releasing the label in testing one, so you have to first validate your model on the training one, on the training data. So for example, you can use 30,000 to train the model and then test your model on the remaining 25. Or you can use 50,000 to train your model and then test the model on the remaining 5,000. So once you have a good performance, then starting on January 1st, you can submit your prediction of testing one. Then you can check if your result is accurate enough and what is the ranking position of your team. So the test two is the data set we will use for evaluating all the submitted models, and we will use it also for getting the final ranking list and also for the final awards. So here the table shows that for the training, testing one, testing two, we have exactly the same distribution. So for example, in the training data, we have 60% of positive and 60% of negative tweets. And we have 68% of neutral data. And in testing 1 and testing 2, as you can see, we have the exact same distribution about the positive, negative, and neutral. So you can see they are all having 16% positive, 16% negative, and 68% of neutral. So test 1 and test 2 have 20,000 each. So overall, we have this 95,000 data released. So we actually have a paper discussed in details about the data collection, annotation, and the cleaning process of the data. And we also discussed how we split the data and this kind of detailed information about the 3 data sets. So you can go to this paper to find out more information. And so then I wish that by using this table, we are convincing you that the test 2 dataset, although it's not released, but it is a fair evaluation using test 2 to decide the final price. It is because test 2 has the exact same distribution of test 1 and the training data. So also in the paper, you can find that we already tried some baseline models. So for example, we tried the bag of words with logistic regression, and we tried TF-IDF with logistic regression because these are the most fundamental solutions for text classification. And we also tried BERT. So I think Professor Wasim already introduced BERT and ArrowBERT. So we also use the BERT and ArrowBERT to get the embedding of the tweets, and then we can send the tweets for doing classification. So we were pretending that we are participating in the computation, and we evaluated our results on the test 1 and the test 2. So as you can see, test 1 and the test 2 always had the same prediction value evaluated in different metrics. For example, F1 positive, F1 negative, F1 neutral, macro F1, micro F1, positive recall, negative recall, and neutral recall. So we had all the same. So again, we are saying if you submit your results on the test 1 data, and you should expect you have the similar performance on the test 2. So overall, we found that the ArrowBERT model had the best performance, as you can see. So it's outperforming all the other models. I think this is not surprising because ArrowBERT was trained by Arabic, right? So I think this is very important. That means when you want to build a model, and you should have the model understand the language very well, and then you can do prediction classification in a very accurate way. So we believe that the model can be improved. So we use a very simple way, ArrowBERT, and then followed by a regular classification method. So we think that you should build on some advanced model, even on top of ArrowBERT. And we wish that we can have the performance of the model, of your model much higher than what we have here. So we are waiting for your best result. We hope that you can get a better result than what we have. And as I said, so if you click on the link, and you should be able to download the data site. As I said, you can download the training data and the test 1 data, and then you can work on the problem. So remember to download and then submit your results on January 1st. You can come back to our website and then check the updates of the results. So about the rules, who can participate? So actually we welcome anyone to participate in the competition. Even you don't speak Arabic, I think that's totally fine. So because you can use different kind of pre-trained model to embed the tweets into some vectors, and then you can work on that. But it will be great if you know Arabic, because then you can design some better solutions. So you can join a team, right? So because it will be difficult for yourself to work on the problem, so you can form a team with your colleagues, your friends, and probably your team members have different expertise. For example, someone is very good at programming and someone is good at doing literature work. and someone have novel ideas always and trying to propose new things, and so you can discuss. So the maximum size of the team is 5. That means you should not include more than 5 in the same team. And maybe you want to say, can I join multiple teams? I'm sorry, not. You should join only one team. So we understand that, for example, you are a faculty member, you are a professor, and you are supervising several students, and they are forming several teams. So please, you can only join one team. So it's not allowed for you to join multiple teams. And maybe you want to use some extra external data. That's possible. So we provided the tweet ID, so you can try to get the content of the tweets. So if you want, you can try to include, for example, emoji and some other kind of information that's available for you to improve the classification result. But please note that the external data should be publicly available, because it will be unfair if you use some external data that's actually only private to you. And also, finally, we want to evaluate your code on the test2 dataset. So if you are using some external data that are not available in public, we will not be able to run your model on the test2 dataset. We will not be able to have a good performance of your model on the dataset. You will not have a high ranking position in this case. So we strongly encourage women to join the competition. So you can form a team, or you can join some team with some others. So we believe that the diversity will be very important for achieving great results. So again, this is a timeline. So you're welcome to download the dataset and then try to play with the data. And we are waiting for your submission starting on January 1st. And so in the end, I want to send my acknowledgement to the sponsor of this competition, that's CMC division at cost. And CMC is also the sponsor for this webinar event. And the organization team, including my colleagues in the WTI Women to Impact Initiative at cost. And of course, the Lucidia company helped us on the data collection, annotation, and a lot of other supports. And I have special contributions from my students, Mandala Hint. They helped me on running these baseline models and then compile different models and split the data into training test 1, test 2, and they made sure the data is a file split and the released data had no error. Thank you very much. And I also thank Basma Al-Habi. She was my former student, and she's assistant professor now at University of Jeddah. And she's the one who drafted the paper. If you want to read more information about the paper, so you can go to the website and click on a link, and you can get the information there. And she also answered a lot of your questions already in the chat box. Thank you, Basma. And Manal, she actually was also a course alumni, and she's working at KAU, and she also helped on building the baseline models. So I'm so proud of our team, because it took us a lot of time for making this happen. So we have all the data prepared already. So we are waiting for your participation. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, you can write on the Q&A session, and I will try to answer that. Thank you very much. So let me see what kind of questions we have. Is it okay to do the competition alone? Of course, you can do it alone, right? So that's not a problem. You only include the tweet IDs because of copyright problem? Yes, right. So I think that's a very important issue for us, because Twitter does not allow to share the content of the tweets. So we will only be able to share the tweets. But actually for the test one dataset, we share the content because it's a small one, it's only 20K. For the training data is 55, so it's a large data set. But actually we provide a tool if you have difficulties to retrieve the content of the tweets. We provided a tool so you can, again, so you can register and then you can create a request. Then you can get the content of the tweets. So you can try to create a request on the website after you log in. So what accuracy did you guys reach? So this is our performance. So as you can see, our robot had the best performance, and the accuracy and other metrics are showing there. So of course, this is not the best. We wish that you can provide better results. How can I look for group members? Is it possible to work by? Of course, you can work by yourself. So I can share some experience with you. So for example, you work by yourself and then you submit your code, you found that you are not at the top. And then you found some others you know, they rank higher than you. So then you can form a team, right? So you can drop your current team and then you can join with another one, right? So you can find the team members on the ranking list who is ranked higher than you. Okay. Okay. How much time each request? I think it depends on how many requests we received. So usually, if it is not allowed, it will be processed very soon. So I wish that. So I will talk with my team, and so they will work on it. Wish that we can have the request processed as soon as possible. So the timeline. Okay, let me show you. The timeline is given here. Right. What the two metric? Okay, good question. I think it's given here. Yeah, it's given here. So we have the metric here. We have two metrics actually. One is called average recall. So we actually care a lot about the average recall across the three classes. So we wish that you can have high recall on the three classes. So we also have a secondary metric that is the average F1 for the positive and negative class. So why we care less about neutral? So if you remember, so I can go back here. So as you can see, we have 68% of neutral classes. So that means we have a lot neutral tweets and we have less positive and negative. So we care more about positive and negative. So that's why we had these two metrics. So it's only two academia, definitely not. I said anyone is welcome, no matter where you are working. So you are definitely welcome to participate in the competition. Do I have to upload the CV as file for? Oh no, that's actually you only upload the ID, I think. So you can just upload the ID and then you can get the contents. So try to make your request. If it is not approved or if it is not correct, I think the team will contact you and give you some instruction. How to get the content? So as I said, so make a request on the website after you log in, and then you will get some content retrieved. Is there a restriction on the language ecosystem? Like, no, we don't have anything, but I think Python works much better than the others. Right, because if you remember what was given by the first three speakers, they already developed some tools based on Python for you to work on different kind of language processing problem. Okay, any other questions? Oh, okay. So again about the metric, right? So you cannot choose. It's us, right? So because it's we will use average recall. So we will consider the average recall. So if there are several teams, they have the same average recall, then we consider the secondary metric. You cannot choose. It's us decide these two metric to be used for ranking the teams. The The recording, I think we provided the link already. It will be available on the WTI website. So you can go to the website and then you can find the link. So maybe Basama, maybe you can find the link and you can post the link to the question. You made a request using the training, but haven't received anything. Yeah, so you should have ID for the you should have ID of the tweet to get the content, I think. So please try again. How to register? Let me share the link again. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Yeah, here is the link. Here is the link. So you can go to the link and then you can register with your email and then you can download. Okay, any other questions? Okay, no questions? Oh, send the link here. Let me try see if I can send the link here. I'm not sure how can I send the link here. So Basama, can you please send the answer there if you are answering the questions? Thank you so much. Solutions. So solution. So I'm not sure what the solution. So maybe you mean the prediction results, the submission. So it will be submitted through Kaggle. So actually, we are working on the Kaggle platform. So we wish that by then we will have the link. You can just go to Kaggle to upload your result, and then you can see this running there, and you can have your ranking. The account is waiting. I think if you just download the dataset, it will not take a long time because I don't think you need approval for downloading the dataset. It's maybe just for getting the tweet account tweet content. Yes, so you just submit the predicted value. For example, you see this for the test one, we have 20 tweets, and you predict which one is positive, which one is negative. So you just predict the label. So what you are going to submit is just a one column file, including the predicted results corresponding to each of the 20K you have in test one. So then we will compare your predicted value with our ground truth. And then we will measure your accuracy, then rank your model comparing with others. Okay, so Inji, you want to answer some question? I see that you marked.
Yes, actually, we receive for the one who are not resident in Saudi Arabia, they will pass. We have a flow for approval, so they will pass by an administrator, and the administrator will release their approval. So just be patient with us. We'll review and send you the confirmation email soon.
So how long will it take? So someone asked.
Supposedly in 5 minutes. We already sent it to the admin, and yes, verifying with him.
Okay.
Right, make sure, please, to enter the a correct email. So this is another area. Maybe you enter it incorrectly, but anyway, we're contacting the administrator and try to approve them as quickly as possible.
Great. Is it fun to work here? Definitely. So I think I can go here. Oops, not here. Here. So you can work in a team. So the maximum number of people in the team is 5. So for the submission here, so let me go to the timeline again. So for the submission starting from January 1st to April 30, you just submit your prediction for test 1. So we have 20,000 tweets. You just submit what you predicted. So then, according to the ranking list, so you will be aware of your position. You will know if your model performs good or not. So then you will submit your code, and then you can see we will have the final ranking on May 10th because we will evaluate your code and then rank the models based on the test 2 dataset. Okay, any other questions? When this webinar, I think we are going to have a break very soon. And then we have the second session starting at 5. And then we have one talk starting at 5:10. And then we have the second quiz on 6. Then we finish. So you are welcome back at 5. And then take another presentation, then take another quiz to win the prize, and then we finish. We have actually, I think on the website, we have a description about the task. And if you go to our paper, you will also find out some description about the task. Thank you. I think we have a recording. So I think we have the recording of the whole event. You can check the WTI website to find out.
Correct. Now we are recording all the sessions, and they will be found on. They will be uploaded to the website.
Okay. So if you have some errors, so Inji, do we have some email for people to ask if they have some errors when downloading some the JSON file?
They can communicate to us on WTI and on the portal itself, so they can send an email as well on the portal that we have created.
Good. Yeah. So if you have any questions, so don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah.
So at least you should have comparable results like what we have already, but you should have better result than us. Any other questions? So we'll just wait a few more minutes. So if there is no question, we will end here and we will have a break. Then please come back at 5. As I said, we have another presentation and then another quiz. So you can join us for the second quiz and win the prize. Of course, you can participate the second quiz. Of course, you can. So please join us at 5. You can take the presentation, you can listen to the presentation, and then you can take the quiz because the questions are mainly related to the presentation. If you want to win the prize, you probably have to listen carefully to the presentation. Yes, finally, you should submit the code used for training. So this is how we evaluate the teams in the end. The registration will open until the end, so you can register, but you should register as early as possible because you want to work on the problem. Any other questions? So Inji, what is the email for people to contact? I think someone asked about the email.
Yeah, they can now start sending us at wti@cals.edu.sa. And they
Okay,
can find it, and they can find it on the website itself.
great. So I think another question about the recording video. So should we share this link somewhere so people can immediately find out?
We already announced it, that all the recording, they will be on the website,
Yeah.
on the
And,
event website. You can find it in your emails when
and we
we
will,
confirmed your registration.
and we also share the slides from the speakers, so you
Yes.
can download the slides if you want. So how long to take the confirmation to receive the confirmation
Just
email?
give us additional 10 minutes.
I think it's because many people are making the request and making the
Yeah.
registration, so that's why it take a little bit long.
Mhm.
But anyway, this is good. That means a lot of people are attracted to the event. So it's WTI at cost, right? Let me try to answer
Yes.
this one.
wti@cals.edu.sa.
Good. Yeah. So if you didn't receive any like confirmation or email, so please check if it is classified as a spam. So you probably have to check your spam email and then drag it out.
Yes, this is another thing, because it will come with the no reply at cals.edu.sa. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, yeah. So if you didn't receive any reply, so don't wait too long and try to check your spam emails. Good. Any other questions? Not too long, so please wait. And if you didn't receive, and just wait a few minutes more, and then check if it is in the spam. So I see many of you answered me that you found the confirmation in the spam email. So please try to check if you have it in the spam email. Yes, of course. So there are different tools trying to extract content, and you can try to search, right? So I'm not sure if Manal and Hind can help to provide some tools that are available for extracting the tweet content, because we tried this before. So you can provide more information. So if you receive the message saying the administrative approval is needed, so you probably can wait a few more minutes and see if it is approved. So what do you mean by nothing? Bash, what do you mean by nothing? So you didn't receive anything? Okay. You can register just as someone who wants to use a data set. That's fine. Not necessary to participate the competition, right? So that's totally fine. But when you use our data set, so please read these several regulations we list there already. So for example, you cannot use it for non-academic purpose or some other kind of trying to get some privacy issue or doing some adversary engineering about the user's private information. So it is okay. So you can register and then you can use it, not necessary to participate in the competition. That's fine. But if you register and download DataSite and use the DataSite to publish a paper, so please cite our paper, and then we can know what you did, right? We appreciate that you can let us know. So the request is for getting the content of the tweets because Twitter does not allow us to share the content of the tweets in the large number of tweets. So that's why we provided only the ID. So if you have tools to get the content, that's fine. But if not, you can try to use the tool we provided in our platform. I'm not sure if we can share the tool because according to the usage of the data from Twitter, I don't think that the tool can be allowed, can be shared to public. Can I use more than one data set? Yes, of course, you can use more. So if, as I said in the beginning, so if you use more than what we provided, so please make sure the data you are using is public available because otherwise we may not be able to evaluate your model. How can I join my team? You have to find your team member. So try to talk to your friends or some people who are also interested in this topic. You can form a team. Yeah, it needs approval. So please be patient and you may get some feedback very soon. Oh, you mean how to add your teams? So by January 1st, you will be able to submit your code, submit your prediction results. So then think about a good name for your team. So then you can submit the result from your team and then you have the list of your team members. Okay. Any other questions?
We'll take the break now, Xiang. I'll
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can share the
Yes.
master
Share
slide.
my screen.
Thank you. But if anyone have question, you can just keep posting in the Q&A box, chat box, and we will try to reply. Thank you.